Hi everyone, welcome to the October 2024 Networth video. My name is Mona. I am 40 years old. I am a single parent living in New York City. I have one child who is special needs or disabled, and I am on a journey to FIRE or financial independence, retire early. So my net worth for October of 2024 is $723,344.03. That is an increase of $4,871.44 from the prior month. Let's take it all the way from the top, starting with my assets. The Bank of America check-in, the balance is $4,528.12. That's an increase of $59.07 from the prior month. This Bank of America checking account is used for my monthly expenses. So essentially it's a wash account. So at the beginning of every month, it typically is about the same balance. And then over that course of the month, I will just spend down on it to pay for housing, food, transportation, etc. Just the overall monthly expenses to live for myself and my daughter. Moving next to Ally Savings Account. This is a high yield savings account. Balance on that is $1,182.99. That's a decrease of $1,096.21. The reason for this decrease is because I did pull money from this account to invest more aggressively in the stock market. If you want to learn more about that, you can check out some of my other videos around my emergency fund, as well as my M1 Finance dividend videos. Moving over to the 401k, balance on that is $278,284.38. That's a decrease of $2,535.55 from the prior month. The last day of October, the stock market essentially almost like crashed. So there was just a huge drop in my portfolio balance. So that's what's showing here. My 401k, I did max it out in March of this year. So I have not been able to contribute directly to the 401k. So it's at the mercy of the stock market essentially at this point. And my 401k is 100% invested in the S&P 500. Moving over to the Roth IRA, balance on that is $39,600.15. That's a decrease of $208.13 from the prior month. Same as the 401k, stock market didn't perform well, and this is the end result of it. The Roth IRA is invested 50% in the S&P 500, 25% in the total stock market, and 25% in SCHD. And I maxed out the Roth IRA in March of this year, so haven't been able to contribute directly to it since then. So it's been at the mercy of the stock market. All right, moving over to my brokerage account. Balance on that is $200,734.94. That's an increase of $8,888.77. Now, before you get happy about this is all just me investing aggressively in the month of October to the brokerage account. So I essentially depleted my emergency fund and my daughter's sinking fund for her ABLE account to put it all in the market. It's very controversial. It depends on if you're someone who truly values an emergency fund or not. But that's what I did, and that's why the balance went out, because the stock market didn't help at all. It actually went against it, because at one point the brokerage account was at like 205,000, and now I am barely hanging on by a thread essentially to stay in the 200s. So I don't know if I'll be in the 200s next month, but we'll see what happens. And my brokerage account is invested 64% in the S&P 500, 35% in SCHD, and 1% in QQQM. Moving over to my HSA, balance on that is $28,071.09. That is an increase of $26.20. I have no idea why there was an increase in the HSA, because stock market didn't do well. So yes, I'm not sure, but even though it's a minimal increase, it's still an increase. And my HSA is invested 100% in the S&P 500. I do view the HSA as a purely investment account, so it's 100% invested. I don't hold any cash balance in the HSA. I don't leverage the HSA for any type of health expenses. I cash flow those, if I have any, from my W-2 paycheck. I truly view it as an investment account. And then moving over to the ABLE stands for Achieving a Better Life Experience, and it's an investment/checking account for people with disabilities. Given my daughter does have a disability, long term her money makes more sense to be in an ABLE account versus a 529 or a custodial account, because this is just a specialized account for people with disabilities. So the balance on her account was $39,284.07. So that's a decrease of $819.33. It's always painful to see when this balance decrease because, again, it's going towards my daughter's future. But she's 5 years old, so she has a lot of time for this money to compound and just grow over the next decade plus, or multiple decades for her lifetime. And then last asset is my home. That's valued at $435,000. That's the purchase price. So I'm just keeping that consistent for all of 2024 and also all of 2025 as well, I decided. So it's a $0 change. So all of my assets the total is $1,026,685.74. I am still getting used to saying like the whole $1 million thing, but it looks like potentially I'm here to stay in the $1 million unless the stock market has a significant drop. It looks like there will probably need to be several thousands of dollars before the total asset balance will go below 1 million. So it's still really good to see that I'm in that 1 million range for my assets. And before I move over to the liabilities, something else I'm going to start mentioning in my monthly net worth video is my FIRE net worth. And what does that mean? Essentially, it's how much money do I have in pure investments for myself? So not just looking at the net worth, but looking at what is my investment balance. So for me, my investments are my 401k, my Roth IRA, my brokerage account, and my HSA. I do not count my daughter's ABLE account because that money's for her. So if I add up the value across those 4 accounts, the balance is $546,691. So I have $500,000 invested, which is just fantastic. My FIRE number is 1.5 million, but I'm not sure I'm going to wait around for it to get to that large of a balance. I might retire at the 1 million or close to 1 million mark, but I'll just take it one day at a time because, again, I'm nowhere close to 1 million, but I'm actually more than 50% to the way there, which is fantastic, but it's definitely going to take me several more years to reach that $1 million mark, and that's all pending if I'm able to stay in my current high-paying role. All right, so moving over to mortgage. My mortgage is my only liability. I don't believe in debt. Only reason why I have a mortgage is because I'm not rich enough to have bought my home in cash, because if I was, I would have bought it in cash. I don't have credit card debt. I don't believe in playing the points game, rewards game. If I want something, I just charge it on my debit card. If I can't afford it, I just don't do it. It's really that simple for me. I like to simplify my life, so that's how I operate and why I keep my debt minimal to just my mortgage. So my mortgage balance is $303,341.71. That's a decrease of $556.62 from the prior month. The mortgage, I did pull back heavily in terms of aggressively putting extra payments. Compared to prior months, it was $1,000, $2,000, sometimes over $2,000 extra in payments I put towards the mortgage. But I have other financial goals that I want to focus on for the remainder of 2024, so I'm not putting a lot of extra money towards the mortgage, again, for the remainder of 2024. So if you take my assets and then you minus my liabilities from it, that's what gives me the net worth of $723,344.03. That is all of the update for the October 2024 net worth video. Let me know what your net worth was. Was there anything in particular that stood out for you? How do you feel about the performance or the lack of performance of the stock market towards the end of October? All right, that's all the update I have for this month, and I'll catch you next month. Bye.